Food boxes are a major way that people experience puzzles, and so when I see a puzzle on one, I keep it. They fall into a few categories, with most of the puzzles being mazes, word searches, or connect the dots, like the one on the side of this Capri Sun box. Mazes are especially popular. Here's a Savor It's Turtle Crackers box with a nice maze on the back, and also one here on this Burger King bag. This Honey Nut Cheerios maze is interesting. It's a maze where you have to follow the numbers in increasing order, but they didn't design it to be unique. There's actually 3 different paths from the 2 to the 4. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I did call General Mills and also directly message the Cheerios account, but the only response I got was the puzzle was to provide a fun and engaging activity for families to enjoy together, which does not answer my question. There was one food box puzzle that I find more interesting than the rest, and it's this puzzle on the back of the Super Mario Odyssey tie-in cereal box, which was released around the same time as the game back in December of 2017. The puzzle is a maze, but one of the reasons I find it interesting is that it's so detailed compared to the other puzzles. There's nice art of the Mario characters, some trivia questions scattered throughout the maze, and a small constraint to avoid the piranha plants as you traverse the puzzle. But some aspects of this maze are unclear to me. It looks like there's enough room to scoot around the plants. Am I allowed to? There's a trivia question on the outside of the maze. Am I allowed to go outside of the maze? And what about these cables and coins? They seem to be above it, looking at the maze's edges. Can I pass underneath? Can I go in the pipes? How can Mario fit into this maze when he's so gigantic? The maze works, you can find a solution, but these little quibbles have bothered me for, about 8 years. So I thought to myself, why don't I try to design a puzzle to place over it and get some closure in my life? When I went to design the puzzle, I had to set some design parameters. First, this is going to be a maze, like the original puzzle, and it was going to involve the Mario universe. But there's the question of whether you could draw on the box. I think a lot of the food container puzzles are designed to be solved in your head. For example, here's a great value Honey Nut O's box with a word search that uses white letters on a brown background, which you can't effectively draw on. And here's an Animal Crackers maze which is white on red. But after experimenting with drawing on a Purdue Chicken Sea Creatures bag and an extra large family-sized Honey Nut Cheerios variant box, I determined that as long as the box was light-colored, that you could use markers. Given that you can draw on the box, I thought it would also be fun to play with the pixel art of early Mario games, by having you draw a picture as you solve the maze. So I set a goal for the puzzle of drawing the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom, and decided that I would create a color maze. A color maze is a maze where there's a single path from the start to the end, and you draw the path using colors. When you encounter a different color when solving, you switch colors, and you end up drawing a picture as you go through the maze. I designed it, printed it out, affixed it to the box, and finally, I was at peace. And indeed, if you solve the color maze, the true hero of the Mushroom Kingdom is revealed. This video contains a puzzle. The answer is a 9-letter English word, and you can check the answer on my website. The answer checker now accepts partial solutions. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, happy puzzling!